BS Film Study.
All right, anybody who's watched my channel for a while knows I love the offensive line. I've coined the phrase, the offensive line makes the NFL world go round. I don't pretend to be a guru when it comes to the offensive line as far as what the particular play is and what the assignments are. I know a little bit. There's some really great channels that will tell you that. What I focus on for my evaluation is traits, skill sets, and technique within the play. I believe those are core essentials, foundational pieces to an evaluation for an offensive lineman. I believe that an offensive lineman has to have some ability to handle power. They need to be able to drive block, and they need to be able to handle the bull rush. And then you extrapolate out. Now, the good news is, and the bad news, I am motherly over Patrick Paul. I love the face mask. I love the humility. I love the conscientious nature, the intelligence, the size, the length, the power. He's everything that I want for a Dolphins offensive lineman. And I really didn't want him to start. He ended up starting because Tehran got injured. But the good news is he looked pretty darn good. Not perfect. I'm not here to tell you he's Jonathan Ogden 2.0. I'm going to go through this thing in a no BS film study showing the good and the bad. The good is his platform is like Robert Hunt. It is as good a platform to build something on as you can get. Will he reach that plateau? Will he reach the promised land? We'll see. But this film, while not perfect, shows something that very few Dolphins linemen that Chris Grier has drafted shows. And that is exemplary traits. And so I'm going to get into the film. I am a little motherly. I am a little nitpicky because I'm mama. But Paul should get you excited. So let's take a look at the film and see what we see. So clearly Paul has the power and strength, but he needs to work on his technique. You can see here, 1 foot raised, 1 foot down when he gets impact. His hands are outside. That is not perfect. That's not how you're supposed to do it. But this is fixable. You want the hands to be like a can opener, getting inside the arms of the defender, hitting those numbers, hitting that breastplate. You want both feet planted when you get the impact. But the unbelievable part is that Paul is so strong and powerful, he just plants the foot bows and shuts down the edge rusher. We haven't seen that for a while. And great traits cover over a multitude of sins. He is on some run blocking. He's got outside leverage to start the snap. And you see he gets his head on the outside. This is supposed to go to the left of him. And he does a really good job early, but you can see at the end, the defender gets out because his base is not strong. He's got a narrow base and he doesn't finish well. It doesn't affect the play, but these are the little things that at certain points they will crop up, and so you always want to trim back the fat on your technique. But again, Paul's size and power covers over plenty of problems. If Paul can get that stuff worked out where he gets a little better leverage, he gets a little better hand placement, a little better foot placement, he could end up washing the edge rusher or defender down the line of scrimmage, and he can open up huge cavernous holes for this offensive line. But this is just game one. So let's see how it plays out. Again, you can see here, his head and hips and feet are a little bit out of place. And at the very end, you can see right there, he gets the swap where the edge player gets outside of him. And it could end up being a problem down the road. But these, again, are correctable. And having the power that he has allows him to make this play early despite these discrepancies. You can see here, look at him get inside, just shut down 99. There's a little bit of a double right there, but he flattens him. It's 350 pounds on you. It does not feel good. Paul's got power, but it's not just power. Look at here. He chips, he helps on the edge, and then gets to the second level and really pops the linebacker. A little extra business at the end, which I love. Again, you can see here, There's a little bit of a stunt. He leans a little bit inside. He has a tendency to hedge the inside, fearing the outside in. But look at the bounce back. He quickly, for a guy that big, to move his feet like that and drives out. It's a quick pass, but very nice footwork in the recovery. See here, gets inside. And this is not easy for an outside zone, for a pitch outside. He gets a step inside, gets inside the numbers and rides them and rides them. At the end, he gets tossed a little bit, but the play is long over. It's nice job, nice ability for a giant to get in there and to ride like that on the outside zone away from him. See right here, his footwork's a little bit off. Balance is his feet are a little narrow. His balance is hedging the inside. But it's the strength and the length. He bows up and just shuts it down. I mean, it's like, daddy to the son over here. And again, look at that footwork. That's not perfect. A little off balance. But then he's able to handle that. But the quick pass really does help. So he's got to work on that technique a little bit because you can't always get the ball off that quick. Look at here. He gets the stab inside to help Jones and the speed to get back outside on the edge rush. A little hand to the face, but we don't talk about that. That's impressive for a guy who's almost 6'8", 350. Again, you can see the jab in here to cut off the inside, which is the most prominent or more dangerous play. But then he bounces back outside and keeps the edge rusher away just in case. Very impressive agility. Again, you can see here, narrow base, not so hot. This is not affecting the play, but you can see that problems can arise. He has a strength and stonewalls it, but it wasn't a good setup. But those traits offset poor technique, unlike other people. Again, you can see right here, a little bit of lean, but now you're getting a little problem inside. He leans a little bit too much. He's off balance. He gets the inside. Jones helps him out, but Tua gets the little pop there. And these are things that, you got to clean up because the better competition will slow that pass down, and maybe that becomes a sack. See, he leans a little bit too much. He's swum on here, and Tua takes a little shove that doesn't need to be. So these are things that he can perfect. He's shown a little bit much more improvement than I thought at this stage anyway. Again, narrow base. He's a little hesitant. He gets beat on the inside. He gets washed out. Tua's on the move. There's pressure all over the place. But, you want a much better setup. If he just allows his technique to control his stance, to control his balance, he'll be able to offset that without the extra lean. A little hesitant here. See the stiff-legged. Despite the size, the balance is key. And so he gets beat a little bit, and he has to end up holding a little bit there. But that's a super quick pass. If the pass gets longer, this can end up being a problem. See here, he's leaning inside. He chases, but the speed and intelligence to get back outside and work the stunt was pretty darn good. And so every game, every set of film study and off-season working on his technique and understanding of how he's supposed to set is really going to go a long way with this kid. Again, here, he gets a little tentative, narrow base, the inside. Again, you can see here, the base isn't so hot. He's hedging inside. He's really off balance. Chases the stunt. Not terrible, but you want to hold your position because you don't know if you're getting an outside blitzer, and you can't really block a guy from back. Brewer's there to pick it up. Again, you can see him hedging inside. He needs to be balanced. And now, because he's off balance, the smaller, less powerful guy is able to drive him back a little bit. Again, the ball comes off quick, doesn't affect the play. But you could see here that Paul is able to offset his technique deficiencies because he's got the strength and power. And it's something that we haven't seen in a while from Dolphins offensive linemen. And with every little tick, he improves on his technique, on his understanding of trusting in what he's supposed to do, trusting in following the right protocols for how to set up and not having to hedge his bets. the more he works on his hand place and shooting those hands out and attacking instead of letting guys get into him, all that stuff's going to accentuate unbelievable athleticism for a guy that big, unbelievable size and length. So I think Dolphin fans should be extremely high on what Paul's potential is. And this was a lower end evaluation. We'll pair it with the Texans this week, and together we'll see where Paul really's at and what he's able to do. It's going to be a big test this week if Tehran doesn't play. But overall, I think this is an excellent pick, and he should offer tons of hope.
No BS Film Study.
Start building your own online sportsbook today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.